Hello again. This lecture is going to be fairly quick, so please bear with me. We're going to look at how to delete the first node in a linked list. And believe me, it is much easier than I think it is going to be. All we have to do is create a method for it. So let's call this delete first node in a linked list. I'm going to define delete. Let's call it delete first, and it's going to require nothing because it is the first location. We know where it is. I don't need to send a key or anything else. All I need to do is all I need to do is just ask it to delete. This is just like push, just like pop, and just like dequeuing, the ones that we did with the queue and the stack. So what I'm going to do in here, since it is the first element, let me get back here. Since it is the first element, so if we're looking at number 0, let me get rid of this quickly. If we are looking at this 0 in here, and I want to delete it, it's going to be very easy. Why is that? Well, because I know where it is. I have the root or the head that is pointing right at it. So all I need to do is say self.head, which is the one here. I'm going to create a temp. So temp equal self.head, and then I'm going to say self.head equals, look at this, temp is here. So if we use our triangle again for temp and we use the connector, we just said temp equals self.head. So temp is where head is pointing. This is temp right now. So we can basically say self.head equals temp.next. Where are you pointing? Where is temp pointing? It's pointing here. Okay, then you do the same, and that's it. This is basically deleted. So self.head equals temp.next. Now, why is this, again, why do we consider this to be deleted even if we can see it? Because we as humans can see this, but for the computer it's going to start here, jump to 99, which is pointing to 3, pointing to 5, 4, 9, and this will never be used. Python is going to use automatic garbage collection to get rid of this later, and we can do this by hand. If you want to, we can do temp equals none. Now, if we go down here, I'm going to get rid of this deletion part in here. I'm going to say, actually, let me just comment this out. So if we do this and run, it's going to say 0993549. I want to delete the first item in here. So I'm going to do a delete first. It receives nothing and needs nothing. Okay, and you can see the 0 is gone, 99 is the first item in our list. Well, what if I told you we can make this even simpler? What if I don't want to do all of this in here? Well, let's create a simpler one. So delete. Let's remove this. First node in a linked list, simplified, if you can believe that, and it's going to be defined for our method, and let's call it delete simple. So again, doesn't require anything itself. And I'm going to copy this just to keep it with me, and I can do one of the easiest lines of code that you can ever write, which is if we look back here and we know that head is pointing towards the first location. I'm going to remove the temp right now. It is pointing towards the first location. So what if I say head.next? So head.next is the second node. So I can basically write self.head equals self.head Next, I'm just saying that, look, you're pointing to this location. What if we just point instead of here, but point to the next point or next pointer of where you are pointing right now? So you are pointing here, 0 is pointing to 99, point toward it. And exactly this is what's happening, is we're just removing this. Using this method, we cannot delete this node by hand because there is no pointer pointing towards it right now, and we're going to have to rely on Python to do the garbage collection for us. Now if we delete first in here, again, let me do this. We're going to comment this point out just to check. We can see that 0993549, no problem here. I'm going to decomment this and then change those names to delete simple. This is why I copied it earlier, run it, and you can see that same thing. So you can see that deleting the first node in a linked list is super simple. It's actually just one line of code that we can use and we can do whenever that we want. Linked lists are some of the simplest data structures that you can work with. Please keep that in mind while you're studying and learning new things about it. Regarding deleting the last node, is just as simple, but you have to do that on your own. It's going to be the assignment for next week. Thank you so much for listening, and I'm going to see you on the next lecture.